स्वादयन्निह सर्वेषाम् त्रय्यन्तार्थम् सुदुर्ग्रहम् स्तोत्रयामास योगीन्द्रः तम् वन्दे यामुनाह्वयम् नमो नमो यामुनाय यामुनाय नमो नमः नमो नमो यामुनाय यामुनाय नमो नमः यत्पदाम्भोरुहध्यान विध्वस्ताशेषकल्मषः वस्तुतामुपयातोऽहम् यामुनेयम् नमामि तम् स्वधर्मज्ञानवैराग्य साध्यभक्त्येकगोचरः नारायणः परम् ब्रह्म गीताशास्त्रे समीरितः श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्ताम् सदा हृदि
स्वकल्याण गुणा अनन्त्य कृष्ण स्व अधीनता मतिः भक्ति उत्पत्ति विवृद्धि अर्था विस्तीर्णा दशम उदिता. Just split up, right? Malini madam can read the English translation.
Okay. What is dealt with extensively in the 10th chapter in order to instill and develop devotion to the Lord is the knowledge relating to his own auspicious qualities, being infinite and all things being under his control.
So let us take the word by word meaning. Swa is his own. It is the Supreme Soul's. Kalyana, auspicious. Guna, qualities, attributes. Anantya, infinite. Krishna, all. Swa, again his own. HISOWN, his own. Adhina, control. So Adhinata, again the same control. Then Matihi. Matihi is the other opinion. Opinion in the sense it is understood. So it is understood that everything is under his control and he has got unlimited number of auspicious attributes. Then Bhakti Utpatti Viruddhyartha Vistirna. So Dashama, in this 10th chapter, Dashama in the 10th. It's like Udita. Udita meaning here in English dealt with, or we say it has risen up. It has arisen. It has come up. It is outcome. Vistirna, extensively. Vistirna is extensively. Bhakti, the devotion. Utpatti is development. Utpatti. Then Vivruddhi, it's growth. Utpatti is birth and Vivruddhi is development. So Utpatti is born, the devotion is born. Vivruddhi is well developed. Then Artha is purpose. Therefore, in order to. Artha is in order to. So I think the total meaning is very easy because it is in English. So we'll go to the commentary and no other comment is necessary. We go to the paragraph 66. So Atra, here, Navama, 9th, Sangati, the link, the contents link, Sangati, Purvakam, preceded by. So preceded by the, rather, now it's being followed. The 9th chapter is linked with the 10th chapter. Navama Sangati Purvakam Bhashyam. The commentary called Gita Bhashyam, the Gita Bhashyam of Sri Ramanujacharya, and it has been preceded by this 9th chapter content. So what is the connection between the 9th and the 10th chapter? The commentary gives you the glimpse. Bhakti Yoga, so the discipline of devotion, Saparikaraha Uktaha, along with its accessories, Uktaha, it has been said. The discipline of devotion has been explained earlier in the 9th chapter with all its limbs, Saparikaraha. So Idanim, now, Bhakti Utpattaye, in order to make devotion come into our mind. Utpattaye is production. Utpatti, production. So in order to produce devotion, Tat Vivurdhaye, Tat again the devotion, that devotion, Vivurdhaye, in order to develop it fully. Vivurdhaye, Vruddhaye is developing, Vivurdhaye is for developing it in full measure. And Bhagavataha, the Lord's Nirankusha, Aishwarya, Adi, Kalyana, Guna, Anantyam. So, no way we can control anything with related, anything related to him. So, Nirankusha, Ankusha, you would have heard about as a goat to control an elephant, a pachyderm. So, Nirankusha, there is no goad, there is no goad, there is no control. So, the control in what we call Aishwarya, leadership. Aishwarya also can mean wealth. Both Leela Vibhuti and Ubhay and the Nitya Vibhuti, namely, Leela Vibhuti is this world of creation containing all the 14 worlds. And then Nitya Vibhuti is called Vaikuntham, the headquarters. Both are under his control. And therefore, there is no other control, no external control. That's called Nirankusha Aishwaryam. The Aishwaryam, the leadership or the possessions that he has are not under the control of anyone else. And again, Adi, etc. Kalyana, Guna, Anantyam. The endlessness, Anantyam, endlessness, the infinite variety of the auspicious attributes. Bhaktum, in order to explain. Bhaktum, in order to say. Krishnasya Jagatcharirataya. The Ya must be a long vowel in Sanskrit. So Krishnasya Jagata, of the entire world, entire creation. Krishnasya, entire, WHOLE, whole creation, Jagataha, of the world. Tat Sharirataya, because the world serves as the body of the Supreme Soul. Shariram, body. So Tat Sharirataya. Taya, it should be not Taya, it's Taya, long vowel of Ya. Then Tadatmakattena, Tat Pravatyatvam Cha Prapanchate. Last word, Prapanchate iti. Prapanchate meaning it's being explained, delineated. So what is delineated? What is the Sharira? What is the body of the Lord? It is all types of creation, the entire world. And Tat Pravatyatvam, that is Tadatmakatvam. Tadatmakatvam is the inner soul, namely the Lord, Sriman Narayana. So Tadatmakatvena, because he is inner soul, the status of his inner soul, then Tat Pravatyatvam, that that must be in progress. If it is not understood, then there will be no progress. So it's what you call a moving principle. It's not a immovable principle. So in order to understand how Lord Sriman Narayana is the soul, inner soul, and the body is the entire creation. Prapanchate now is being described. So this is what the shloka's commentary of Sri Gitartha Sangraha of Sri Vedanta Vedika. I think this paragraph is so simple that there are in the commentary we have three aspects, or rather four, whereas in the verse that in the original verse of the Gitartha Sangraha, it is given in simple terms. Only two, namely the number of auspicious qualities of the Lord is limitless, and everything is under His control. Only these two aspects are given there. Whereas, of course, the third aspect is how to develop devotion. So there are some ways and methods, strategies to develop the devotion. Now, as we are going to the last 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, rather third 6 of the Bhagavad Gita, we are in the approach of the road to devotion. The approach road is being laid, how to develop devotion. So we'll take up the further commentary if available, or if you want to discuss on this, you can have questions, clarifications.
So if anybody has any questions about these three aspects, which are being dealt with in the main sloka or this part of the commentary, otherwise we can go to the next. I have some questions, but we can leave that till the end. So we can go to 67.
Before you start asking questions, I just want to, for the sake of new participant or today, by studying Gitartha Sangraha of the Yamunacharya, we get an overview or a bird's eye view of the whole Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapters. And Sri Yamunacharya has put it in a nutshell, the content of each chapter in just 32 syllables in each sloka. And they are called granthas, 32 granthas, meaning 32 syllables. And then grantha meaning 32 syllables. A grantha means a group of 32 syllables. And therefore, in one grantha, he has explained each chapter. And by reading the commentary of the Sri Gitartha Sangraha of Sri Vedanta Desika, we can understand elaborately what is the content in brief. And then now we over the question. Now we will have full understanding if we go through the Gita Bhashya of Sri Ramanujacharya, along with the text, namely 18 chapters, literal translation to understand the language. So over to Ketan.
So we could go to this. We can go to the next paragraph of the commentary, I think, and then we can have questions at the end. It's fine.
Right. Apart from the three aspects given in the Gitartha Sangraha sloka, it is elaborated by Gitartha Sangraha Raksha, the commentary by Sri Vedanta Desika, as how the entire world becomes the body of the Lord, and how the Lord is the inner soul of the entire creation. That is also explained. So there are 4 aspects in fact. Now 67. Ekadasha Arambecha Bhashitam. Now we talked about the connection from the 9th chapter to the 10th. Now the link is established from the 10th chapter with the 11th. So Ekadasha 11, Arambe in the beginning. In the beginning of the 11th chapter, Bhashitam, it has been said. So Evam, in this way, Bhakti Yoga Nishpattaye, in order to explain what is the discipline of devotion. I think my English is also not good, but still, you have to bear with me. So Tad Virdhayecha Sakala Itara Vilakshanena Swabhavikena Bhagavat Asadharanena Kalyana Guna Ganena Saha Bhagavataha Sarvatmakatvam. The Lord being the inner soul, how is the inner soul? It is explained further in the 11th chapter. And it says, Sarvatmakatvam. He is Antaryami. He is the inner soul. In all that he created, in all that exists in his headquarters, Vaikuntha. It's called Nitya Vibhuti. And so Bhagavataha Sarvatmakatvam, Lord's all binding inner soul, all comprehensive inner soul. And how is it? It is associated with Kalyana Guna Ganena Saha. It is with the group of a host of qualities auspicious in character. There is no negative quality about him. There is no inauspicious quality attributed to him. And Bhagavat Asadharanena. Asadharanena, meaning it is extraordinary, unique, something peculiar, strange. And it is not, these qualities of auspiciousness are not possessed by all people in all its measure. Nobody else has got this. Therefore, asadharanena. It is out of the ordinary. Sadharanam is common. Sadharana is ordinary. It is uncommon. All the auspicious qualities found in the Lord are uncommon or are not found in any individual soul or anywhere else. So that is the previous word before Bhagavad Asadharanena. I think you can show me the previous line. Yeah. Bhakti Yoga Nishpattaye. In order to explain the discipline of devotion, Tad Virdaye, in order to suggest the means for developing it in fully, how is the Lord? Sakala Itara Vilakshanena. He is different. Vilakshanam can mean in 2 ways. One, he is different. Another thing, he is more handsome. More handsome. In the sense, more attractive, more lovely, and so on. So, Vilakshanam. Vilakshanam is again peculiar quality that shines above all others. So, Sakala Itara. Sakala, all Itara, others, all others. Especially, we always compare individual souls to the Supreme Soul. And for example, in the figure, as Rama, when he incarnated as Rama, he had 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 eyes, 2 ears. All are similar. We have the frame, physical frame. That's why Sharira. In regard to Sharira, physical form. But in the mental form, he is above all, because he has got all the auspicious qualities. We cannot even have a list. We don't have exhaustive list of the auspicious qualities. It is inexhaustive. So sakalate sakala itara vilakshanena. Then again we will be asking the question: are those qualities imposed on him, imagined on him? Are they superimposed on him? No. It's the swabhavikam. They are natural qualities. They are not unnatural. They are natural in the sense very, very close to him without any reservation. So swabhavikam. Then tataha means then. After the comma you find out the word then. Tataha. Eva only. Tad vyatiriktasya krishnasya. Now the world has been explained. Now we saw that he is different, Lord is different from the creation, and therefore again we say the creation is different from the Lord. So tat vyatiriktasya. Now the world is different from the Lord. How is it different from the Lord? Krishnasya, the entire creation is different from the Lord. How is it? Chitra achitra atmakasya. You have two aspects, contents of the world, namely the knowledge. Chitra is knowledge, wisdom. Achitra is ignorance. Chitra is sentient. Achitra is insentient. Chitra is with the thinking capacity. Achitra is without the thinking capacity. So chita chita atmakasya. Now the very soul of the world it is a combination of chetana and achetana, meaning inert objects and objects which can think. So vastu jatasya, vastu again object. So the other object is the what we call the thing, Thing, material. The material of the world consists of both wisdom and ignorance, the sentient and the insentient, the chetana and achetana, things with the thinking capacity and things without the thinking capacity, the discerning capacity. So tat sharirataya, because of its nature as body, then tadayatta swarupa sthiti pravrittitvam cha uktam. Now it has been explained in the 11th chapter that how will the Lord be in relation to the world? Then the world is under his control. That is ayatta. Ayatta meaning under control. Then swarupa is the very nature, original form, sthiti pravrittitvam. Now we have two aspects which we relate to Lord Vishnu, Shivan Narayana, namely the maintenance and the progress, sthiti and pravrittitvam. The world should go on and on. That is pravrittitvam. It should be stable, sthiti. It should be active. It should be active. The whole world must have active existence, and therefore that has been said. Then how does the Lord make the creation, the world active, and it also exists? So tametam that etam this bhagavat asadharanam svabhavam. We just saw these two words again. So the true nature of the Lord, which is unique to him. Then Krishnasya, again I think it's a repetition in order to stress the point. The entire world will be under his control. The very nature, the true nature of the creation is also under his control. The maintenance also, the very existence is under his control, and it is progress is under his control. So tadayatta swarupa sthiti pravrittitancha. Then How do you understand this? All this? Because we hear the words of the Lord from his own mouth. So we say from the horse's mouth. So Bhagavat Sakashatu Upashrutya. Bhagavat Sakashatu. Sakashatu from the proximity. Sakasam is proximity, nearness. Bhagavat Sakashatu from the proximity of the Lord, in the sense, even while we are as individual souls, we are very close to the Lord. Without his even telling, we can realize. So Bhagavat Sakashatu Upashrutya, we hear, practically we listen to his word. Then Evam Eva Iti. So this is so. Evam so, Eva only, Iti thus, Nishchitya. Now after having heard the words of Lord Krishna, we decide. What is it we decide? That means we decide to understand how he treats the world. So Tata Bhutam Bhagavantam. So we also understand how the Lord is, what is the nature of the Lord. We can understand because of his own words. Then Sakshat Kartukamaha Arjunaha Uvacha. So in order to see him, have a divine vision of the Lord, Sakshat Kartum meaning to enunciate or to follow the advice of Lord Krishna or to make it true. Sakshat Kartum. So Kartukamaha Arjunaha. Now the restless soul, a mind which has been disturbed, and according to Gita Bhashya of Sri Ramanujacharya, he has his affection in the wrong place. Asthana Snehaha and Karunyam. He has pity over persons who do not deserve pity. He has his friendship on the wrong footing. So he wants to have the vision of the Lord, the divine vision of the Lord, the divine vision of the Vishwarupam of the Lord, universal form of the Lord. He wants to realize how Lord is the inner soul and the entire creation is the body of the Lord. By seeing the universal form, by the naked eyes, rather we call Mamsa Chakshuhu in Sanskrit. As a human being, we have our physical eyes with vision. With that vision, he wants to have supra vision, the vision beyond, not only by his mind but also by the eyes. He wants to have a darshan of Lord Sriman Narayana, and therefore he starts speaking. Arjunaha Uvacha. Arjuna said. So we are now going to hear also Arjuna in the 12th chapter, along with the 11th. There will be the whole Bhagavad Gita, as all of us know, that it's a conversation, dialogue between Arjuna and Krishna. Initially, Sanjaya introduces the subject to Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra, with a blind vision, watches by heart the conversation between Arjuna and Lord Krishna. Arjuna is a great friend of Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna loves the Pandavas. Therefore, he is called Pandava's friend. Especially among the Pandavas, 5 Pandavas, Arjuna is the greatest friend to him. That is because Arjuna, though initially he is restless, he has placed his affection in the wrong person, rather his cousins, namely Duryodhana and all others. He has a lot of deep devotion to the Lord, and therefore he is called the best friend by Arjuna. He wanted to save, Lord Krishna wanted to save not only Arjuna, of course, his brothers also, including Karna also. Including Karna, he wanted to save. But Karna could not be saved because he went to the other side, which is adharmic, unrighteous, and therefore he could save only 5. Now over to the participants for further.
So if anybody has any questions or comments, they can make them now. I'll leave mine till last.
Um,
So Swami, I want to completely understand. So to have the path of total devotion is to think of his Kalyana Gunas, and he is the creator of the world, he is our master, and that's it, isn't it? That's all we have to think of his Kalyana Gunas, and he is the doer of everybody. He is the controller of everybody. That's how we develop devotion and bhakti. That's what the gist is.
you have rightly said that both the aspects. The third aspect is how we are different as individual souls from the Supreme Soul, and how the world is different from Him, how Lord is different from the world.
Yes.
These are the very, very nicely you have started the introduction. The first 2 aspects is by going through the Kalyana Guna, by going through in the sense, by realizing, by understanding the spirit of the Kalyana Guna, and also experiencing the bliss of those Kalyana Gunas. That will be very good, very nice. You have presented. And the second is, as you said, development of devotion is by realizing each Kalyana Guna in its full measure. Very good, very nice. Yeah. That's
Okay, so maybe I should go next.
Premananda ji can
Yeah.
air his view.
I have one question, Swamiji. For complete newcomers to Vaishnavism and Bhagavad Gita, what do you recommend to read? To read this book, or to read Bhagavad Gita by the Gita Bhashya by Ramanujacharya? What do you recommend to read?
The very first step that you must do is take the Bhagavad Gita's Sanskrit verses, read the translation into English. Especially, of course, ISKCON is the best. Or you can take up any other right translation. Then after going through the literal meaning, what you said is correct, namely follow Gita Bhashya. If the English translation is available for Gita Bhashya, yes, it is available, I think. So then you can go through the Gita Bhashya and then come back to reinforce your ideas by reading Gitartha Sangraha.
Okay, thank you.
So I just wanted to mention that Gita Bhashya is published by a few different people. The Ramakrishna Mission has published, but there Adi Devananda. But there's one by the M.R. Sampath Kumaran, who is actually a Sri Vaishnava, and then there's another more elaborate translation also by a couple of Sri Vaishnavas. I have that. That's still in print, so that one may the by Sampath Kumaran. Those 2 versions, all 3 versions, I have available. So if necessary, I can scan all those things if you can't get those books.
Right.
So
when Premananda Swamiji asked, we would always recommend you to read Gita Bhashya of Sri Ramanujacharya. But again, you must have also a glimpse of Shankaracharya's Gita Bhashyam. And as Keshav Swami wants to help us, M.R. Sampath Kumar's translation is better than Ramakrishna Math translation, because Ramakrishna Math translation is on the side of Advaita of Shankaracharya. Though Vishishta Advaita of our Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya is for Dr. M.R. Sampath Kumar. That translation is better. Therefore, there will be some differences even between Advaita interpretation and Ramakrishna Mutt. Ramakrishna Mutt's angle is little different. There are some ideas which are not acceptable to Advaita and Ramakrishna Mutt. And Ramakrishna Mutt is not completely Advaita of Sri Shankaracharya also. And therefore, we will always recommend the Vaishnava type of translation of it. So in order that why we recommend the Vaishnava translation is the basic principle which we cannot experience and accept is Jagan Mithya. The world is unreal. The world is a false one. You and I are able to talk with each other. I see you. You can experience the world here with all the sense organs. Of course, when you go to a level, the sense organs can work with each other without any restriction. Whereas here we need a control of the sense organs, and therefore everything is real. Not only the Lord, but also the human beings, any creation is real. We cannot accept Jagan Mithya. The world is unreal. They talk about only one reality, and that is God, and they have different levels of reality also. That we cannot accept. Suppose just giving an example, when you sleep, you have a dream. The dream is also real for that moment. The next moment it is not real, but they have those levels of reality, and we say that on that while you are seeing a dream, it is real. Otherwise your emotions will not erupt as you see a dream. Then it will be in subconscious mind. In the morning when you get up, you will have a description of your dream. You can remember the dream. You can remember. You can recall the dream. And we say in our practice, when you have a bad dream, you reveal it to everyone. If you have a good dream, keep it as a secret to yourself. So that is what we say. Why should we reveal the bad dream to others? That the bad dream should not become reality. Though we send word to others that such dreams will not be repetitive. Okay.
So I think, Swami, you were mentioning that in Advaita there are different levels of perception of reality. There's the Paramartika, and which is what they say is actually reality, and then there's a Vyavaharika. So the Vyavaharika means what we perceive right now is a type of reality, but it's actually an illusion ultimately. And sometimes people give an example of one example is that when we look out the window, we see the world, the earth is flat. But if we go up in the aircraft, if we go up in the spaceship, we see that the world is actually round.
Elliptical.
It's a globe. It's a globe, yeah. So the reality is the world is a globe, but the perception in the ancient times before airplanes and these things, people used to think it was flat only. Then after some science was invented and people began to think about it, and they understood different time zones and things, because we are living in, just now it's middle of the night for you, it's the early morning for me. So they understood, because it's a ball, that's the reality. So this example they give. So I've just tried, you can please give the counter argument. why is this not correct? That there should be a supreme reality, which means that this is all this illusion is gone. That's what the
And we have
Advaitins
the
say.
third reality called Pratibhasika Sata.
Can
The
you explain that?
momentary.
Pratibhasika, is it momentary understanding?
Yeah.
So this is what the Buddhists are speaking about. In Buddhism, they say the only reality is the moment. Like we are real now, but next moment we're different, we're changed, or we don't exist. This reality doesn't exist in the next moment. Everything has changed. But that also doesn't make a lot of sense. There's continuity. That is our experience.
In the case of the middle reality, Vyavaharika Satta, their argument is the world is temporary, the transient. And all, say for example, the human beings, we live up to say 100 to 150 years. Take the maximum. Only 150. Later on, the body doesn't exist. The soul exists. Soul is ever existing. But they don't take it into account. They say the world created is destroyed. So we never say the world is destroyed. Energy can be neither created nor destroyed. Once there is the world is only hidden. Just for saying and for understanding, I say it is only hidden. When it is hidden, it seems as though it has been destroyed. And then when it comes out, then we say it is birth of the creation, or the world is created. And that's all we accept, and therefore world is ever real. And it is understood by the Matsyavatara, the incarnation of the fish, at the end of the Pralayam, Mahapralayam, a great deluge, we call it. That is at the end of Kalpa. Every Kalpa. Kalpa is the combination of 4 yugas, the 4 eras. Krita, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali. So when these 4 yugas are coming to a close, then we have got a great deluge. In the great deluge, we have the concept of everything becomes, everything becomes, rolls into one. And it has been, we say it is water everywhere. And the Lord as fish saves a few samples in order to continue the creation of the world. And therefore some species are chosen by the Lord, and then they are saved from destruction. And therefore the world continues. And therefore we never say the world is unreal.
Yeah,
Brahma Satyam. Yeah.
Yeah, the Christians have a similar story in the Bible of one man who has a big ship called Noah, and he floats on the water. So maybe they got this story from Vedas also. We don't know. Okay, so anyway, I guess that's enough about Advaita. What I wanted to bring it back to was here very clearly is described the Sharira Shariri Bhava, which explains the basic concept of Vishishta Advaita. Because in Vedanta, there's always this pull between Advaita and Dvaita. There's always this pull between oneness and difference, Veda and Abeda. And nobody can understand, many philosophers are trying to understand how there can be Veda, difference, and also Abeda, oneness. So Sripad Ramanujacharya has explained this in terms of this analogy of the body and the soul. Yeah, so this Sharira Shariri Bhava is a unique concept or analogy in Vishishta Dvaita Vedanta of Ramanuja to explain this oneness and difference at the same time. And here it's very clearly explained that these chapters, the 9th going into the 10th, the 10th going into the 11th, are going to give us a good idea of Vishishta Dvaita Vedanta. So for Sri Vaishnavas, this is a very central concept. And as you say, it ends up with the universal form in the 11th chapter. That Arjuna actually wants to understand this. So Krishna shows the universe is his body. And Sri Vaishnavas also understand this because they understand the meaning of the Vyapaka names of God, the Vyapaka mantras, Vishnu and Vasudeva and Narayana. Vishnu is pervading in a certain way from inside, Vasudeva from outside, and Narayana is pervading from both inside and outside. So in this way, we understand the basic concept of Vishishta Dvaita, the Sharira Shariri Bhava. So this is, I'm very happy to see this coming in the verse and in the commentary, the explanation of Sharira Shariri Bhava. Maybe you can say some more about that basic concept of Vishishta Dvaita, Sharira Shariri Bhava.
Right. And again, people sometimes suspect the Vishishta Dvaita that it takes the support from what we call the scriptural sentences with that portion of called Ghataka Shruti. But later on, everybody is made to understand that we are also using the Bheda Shruti and Abheda Shruti. Bheda Shruti of Dvaita and Abheda Shruti of Advaita are also taken up as equally supporting the Vishishtadvaita along with Ghataka Shruti. The interpretation of these three Shruti, Abheda, Shruti meaning scripture. So Abheda Shruti, Bheda Shruti and Ghataka Shruti. Sri Ramanujacharya is the only person who amalgamated all the three and presented in his Sri Bhashya of Brahma Sutra that Vishishtadvaita comprises of all the three. Otherwise, there was always a misunderstanding that Dvaita follows Veda Shruti, Advaita follows what you call them, called the monism, non-dualism, refers only to the Abheda Shruti. And of course, we have to read initially Sayana Bhashya, Sayanacharya's Bhashya. Sayanacharya was the court poet in the kingdom of Krishnadevaraya. And then he had a brother also. That two brothers started writing the meaning of the word Vedas, the scriptures, and then initially that has been followed. Later on, when you read Rangaramanujaji's Upanishad Bhashya, what we call the knowledge content of the Vedas, scriptures, then you can understand everything through the Vishishtadvaita. Yeah, Shankara. Okay. Madhva, ignore. Accept and
Sorry, I'm just explaining a little bit about Beda, Abeda, and Ghataka Shrutis. So Shruti means the Vedic statements in the Upanishads, and they give us the basic philosophy of Vedanta. And in those Upanishadic statements, we get some statements which clearly say that everything is one, and we get other statements which say that everything is different. And so these are called Abeda Shrutis, the oneness statements, and Beda Shrutis, the difference statements. So we have different acharyas like Shankara and Madhva who emphasize. Shankara emphasizes the statements of oneness. Madhva emphasizes the statements of difference, and they don't know how to deal with the other statements, so they just ignore them and say that they are secondary statements. But Ramanuja gives equal weight to all the statements. He says he gives equal weight to all the statements, and there's a third statement which can be interpreted to mean oneness or plurality, difference. And he gives all the statements equal emphasis, and therefore he comes up with this Vashishta Dvaita Vedanta, which is based on this analogy of the body and the soul. That the world and the souls are the body of God, which in English is called, we call it panentheism. There's a thing called pantheism where people, which was in the olden days, people used to worship the god of the tree, the god of the river, the god of, this is not what Ramanuja is talking about. Ramanuja is talking about panentheism. Panentheism means all in God. Pan means all, en means in, and theism means God. So everything within God, God's body is everything, and everything is within God. And at the same time, Vishishtadvaita is greater than panentheism because not only it believes everything is in God, but God is also inside everything at the same time. So he is inside and he is outside at the same time. So that's the greatness of Vishishtadvaita Vedanta.
We saw this concept earlier. Maya tatam idam sarvam. Maya tatam idam sarvam. All this has been pervaded by me.
Jagadavyakta Murtina.
Yeah.
Did you attended the Rahasya Trayasara class today of Madhavacharya? Maybe you can tell us what was discussed in that today.
Today, I'll just tell you, just referring to it. Because different aspects of prapatti we were talking about. There were some interesting references. Indradyumna was a king. Indradyumna is the name of a king.
Right.
And he became,
we heard of this king Indradumna. He was in Orissa, no? And because there was this Jagannath Rath Yatra just recently, so people when they hear about the Rathotsava in Puri in Orissa, they also think about this king Indradumna.
Oh, so he became the elephant, Gajendra, and that is one. Now,
so Gajendra Moksha is being described in Rahasya Trayasara as an example of property by the animal, by an animal.
Yeah.
So even animals can do the property and get moksha from the Lord.
Yeah.
So our religion is not human-based; it's also for all living entities. Correct?
There are some references like this. The cow herders in the avatar of Krishna, in the incarnation of Krishna, where earlier the sages in the avatar of Rama in the forest and the gods in heaven. The gods in heaven and the sages in the forest during the life of Rama, they were born as cowherds and cowherders, especially cowherders. And therefore, what did they do is, earlier during the incarnation of Rama, they had the desire to realize or develop their devotion to God. And therefore they were born again. And then they became the realized soul in the avatar of Krishna. Then Kamsa, of course, out of fear, he got moksha. Out of fear, yeah. Out of fear, he got moksha. Shishupala, he is the third incarnation of the what you call the home god in Vaikuntha, Jaya and Vijaya. So Jaya became Shishupala in the third birth. I won't say incarnation, third birth. So in his third birth, because Jaya and Vijaya have been doing a lot of Kainkarya in Vaikuntha, lot of service, uninterrupted and unalloyed service to the Lord Sri Vaikunthanatha, Paravasudeva, they, in each birth, for example, Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Shishupala and Dantavatra, where by enmity, they got the moksha. That means they got back to Sri Vaikuntha. Then the cowherds, the families of cowherds, they had in their earlier birth friendship with the Lord, and therefore they were born in the rays of Lord Krishna. Yadu Vamsa, it's called Yadu Vamsa, and then they got moksha back. And this is what. So again, we talk about Kamsa. A demon called Kalanemi became Kamsa in the next birth. Kalanemi in the earlier birth was killed by Lord Sriman Narayana. And in the next birth, Kamsa was killed by Lord Krishna. And in both lives, I mean births, he had fear over the Lord, and therefore that was his connection with the Lord, and therefore he got mukti. Then, I think I have told earlier, Yadavas in the sense the cowherd family, and the Pandavas, they were already divine in nature, and because of their connection with the rays of Lord Krishna, or you see, and on Pandavas by friendship, they became very close to the Lord, and we have some other examples also. Again, the beauty in today's discussion was now, I mean, as I said earlier, by enmity, by fear, by desire, by friendship, and by devotion, the moksha is accessible. Again, we have as a human being, we have 11 sense organs which are inimical, which are opposed to our good quality. They always disturb our balance. They make us bad. All the 11. And in spite of our sense organs, 11 sense organs, 5 motor organs, 5 knowledge organs, wisdom organs, and 1 mind, manas, with all these 11 organs, in spite of their bad work, Lord assures us mukti at the end of the human life. And I will just read the word. Dushta Indriya Vashat. He was asking, the exponent was asking the question, do we have 11 bad organs or 11 good organs? Or that means we have good organs and bad organs? No, all the 11 organs are bad. All the 11 organs are bad. And in spite of that, though they are deluded by lot of defects, tad antakale samshuddhim yati Narayana alay. In the temple of Sriman Narayana, all become pure. All the organs become pure. And therefore, the soul, individual soul, gets to the destination very easily. Then, of course, we have Charama Shlokas of the 3 incarnations, namely Varaha Avatara. He says, Aham Smarami Mad Bhaktam. I remember my devotee. And then Nayami Paraman Gatim. I will take him to my fold. And then the most important is there are 2 aspects. Many devotees are in many foreign countries. Why are many foreign countries? In the sense, we are people like me. We are fortunate, lucky to live in a place which is the most holy place or the holiest place on earth. Meaning, Archavatara as an idol, as a figure, as a vigraha. The Lord is supposed to reside in a special form in these places. Say 106 say on earth, two. One is Milky Ocean, the other is Vaikuntha. 108. Apart from that, we have Acharya Abhimana Kshetras, the holy places where we are honored by preceptors, sages, and so on, very great people. So these are all also included. Now, the very existence or leading lives in these Divya Kshetras will make us, transform us from the bad to the good, will make us good. In spite of these 11 sense organs, which are enemies to us, which act as enemies to us. And it's very easy for such people staying in these places to overcome the difficulties. They can face the dangers very easily, and then get that what we call now here applicable to today's context, develop devotion very easily. The Lord blesses such people who are living near Him. Now the next question is, many are in foreign countries. Many devotees are there in foreign countries. And when they are in foreign countries, all countries are only one world of creation. Therefore, even there, when the people have gone there for livelihood, for jobs, in order to earn a good life, and therefore even there, of course, Lord is not absent, and therefore Lord favors those people in foreign countries also. But they can, with some difficulty, reach mukti, whereas the people living in His own holy places, when supposed to be sung by the 12 apostles of the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, they can easily get to moksha. Now,
I think bringing it back to this verse that we were discussing today, since the whole universe is the body of God, if we have the mentality that we're within the body of God, it doesn't really matter whether we are in India or whether we're in foreign countries, because even the foreign countries are within the body of God. So if we are so close to Him, then we can also, so I think it's just a matter of mentality. If you're living there in Sri Rangam, I understand the mentality is always there, that Ranganatha is there and the temple is always there. So it's difficult when you walk outside your door, you cannot avoid seeing the temple. But here, if our mentality is that we're within the body of God, then we can also, then it's the same for us also.
Another aspect is, suppose the people living in these kshetras are committing sins, then that will be very grievous.
I won't believe it. I don't believe it, and I won't hear about any of this. That if,
no.
I believe they're all great Vaishnavas. I don't want to hear any.
No, if they are doing, that will be very dangerous to the individual souls. And
I see.
it has been, proved by the Shastras according to this.
So better to live in foreign countries then, so we can commit a lot of sins here. Is that what you're saying? You're saying we're in foreign countries, so we can commit a lot of sins, not a problem.
Yeah, it's given there. These are all, of course, the discussions in the today's discussion. And tomorrow we'll be discussing on how Prapannas will join with Bhagavatas to lead their life. What is the method of living? So we will be discussing tomorrow. Why? I mean, these are all some thoughts by Vedanta Deshika based upon the earlier authentic ideas of earlier preceptors.
So Vedanta Deshika, is he describing people living in foreign countries? Is he in favor of Vaishnavas going to foreign countries to get jobs and make money and commit a lot of sins?
And he says there is no harm in going abroad. Of course, the devotion does not diminish.
But yet we don't find. I mean, you've been abroad, but there are many very orthodox Sri Vaishnavas. They won't go into foreign countries, right?
Yeah, right.
So Vedanta Deshika is not. He's not against traveling to foreign countries.
Yeah, that's what it seems by his. He was also telling some differences between the devotees.
So I'm understanding that today you were talking about different forms, different ways of approaching the Lord to surrender to Him and to get moksha, different forms of property, and surrender to the Lord through different feelings that we have for the Lord, like we have enmity, or we have devotion, or we have friendship. And then Vedanta Deshika is going to continue on from that, and he's going to speak about therefore, how can we live our lives? How we should live our lives? Should we live our lives with the thoughts of enmity or hatred of God, or should we live our lives
fear
also. Fear also, yeah. So I think probably he's not going to suggest that is the best way to do it, to approach God, right?
No, he just takes examples of the Purana, the anecdotes which we hear from during the incarnations of the Lord, and we understand that. Of course, final verdict of the Lord is everybody is assured sooner or later.
Everybody follows my path in all respects. In the Gita, Krishna says, yeah. So whether they're
it's also supported by the Sri Suktis of Alvar. Maranamanal Vaikuntham Kudukkum Piran. He is so compassionate, he is ready to offer the headquarters after death. And the second is you cannot even escape getting into Vaikuntha, even if you don't have a desire to go there and live.
Yeah, ultimately he's going to take everyone. Okay, nice. And so that you quoted the Prabandha there from which Prabandha is that statement?
Which one you mean? The last statement that I
No, you just quoted the Tamil Prabandha.
Yeah, that is from Nammalvar.
Nammalvar, Tiruvaimoli.
Tiruvaimoli, yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, nice. So
I have a question actually about the Alvars.
Yeah.
What is the general opinion in the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya? When did they live, the Alvars? In what period how long ago did they live?
I have assured Keshav Swami to take through the lives of Alvars in the coming session. And you let him remind me by email. Tomorrow I will deal with the exact time. We say according to the era of Kali. We don't have the equivalent in English, but I will tell you the exact number of the years in which the Alvars lived. But generally, it is believed that it is between the, I think I am giving a long range, 8th and 10th century AD. It's not earlier. That is the. So we have some evidence, internal and external, to ascertain the time of the Alva. Some books give us the information clearly.
Yeah, I was reading in the Wikipedia that it was that the first Alvars were living like 4,000 before Christ.
Yeah.
4,000. That's even in the Dwapara Yuga. That was. Yeah. That was written in the. I saw that in the Wikipedia, but most Indologists, they say they lived maybe 1,000 years ago until, like 2,000 years, 2,000 years ago until 1,000 years
before
ago.
BC.
Huh?
Before BC, birth of Christ.
If
No
you ever
problem.
looked at the Pratishta of the Upavita, and if you ever do that yourself, have you ever done that yourself?
No, I have not done Gnopavita. My grandfather used to do that.
Okay, and nobody does nowadays.
No, many people do in Srirangam and Melkote, Mysore, near Mysore.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to look at it at all?
I had observed my grandfather doing it, and the book, I think Gnopavita Pradita, Keshadas Swami should tell us if it is present in Omnicum or anywhere else.
It's not in the Anikam. I'm taking it from Gopal Deshika Anikam.
Okay, that's also good. So what I sent you was I sent you in Devanagari what is in Gopal Deshika Anikam, and what I want you to do is just correct the Devanagari if there's any mistake, and then if you know somebody who actually does it, maybe I'm pretty sure that Pudukode Vasu probably does it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so you can ask him maybe, because he also follows, I think, Gopal Deshika Anikam.
He follows Gopal Deshika.
Yeah. So then,
if you want, if you Govindacharya Swami want a demo, can have a demo.
Yeah, Govindacharya very much wants a demo. Yes, he wants a demo.
Yeah, I'd love to learn that, and then it's something that we can start practicing and teaching others also.
But initially, the material for the thread must be from cotton.
You should make it yourself.
You have to weave the cotton by
spinning. The spinning wheel, and that is not just normal. But now today, the twine thread is used for Gnopavita, which is normally unbreakable. What kind of thread? It's a different type of thread.
Here now it is twine thread, TWINE.
Twine. Oh, twine threads. Understand.
The thing is, even in knot, the way it is tied, fishery Vaishnavas is different. That also, it'll be nice to learn. It's different how Bengalis and stuff they do it. It's totally different,
and we must know if the knot is different for Vadagalais and Tengalais also.
Not much different, but between Advaitins and Vishishtadvaitis, there's much
big difference. Yeah,
there's much difference.
Yeah,
they have very very thin Yajnapavitam.
We don't want to wear Advaita Yajnapavitas. We don't want to wear them. No, we will reject them.
They usually tie 3 knots.
No, I will ask them what mantras do they use for Yajnapavita.
Who? Advaitis?
Yeah.
Advaitis. We're going to ask the Advaiti. It should be the same for Advaita, and it's a Vedic karma. It should be the same. except for the
then
Sankara.
it should be available in Vaidyanath Dikshitiyam.
Oh, okay. I will look in Vaidyanath. I have Vaidyanath Dikshitiyam. I will look in Vaidyanath Dikshitiyam. Vaidyanatham. I will look in there.
But Vaidyanath Dikshitiyam, though basically authored by an Advaiti, all of us follow. It's a common code.
But I think Hobalamat Anikam and Vaidyanath, it may be some difference.
So slight difference.
Yeah, but
whenever, all the authority is Vaidyanath Dikshitiyam for all.
Okay. You're saying Vaidyanath Dikshitiyam is a common authority for followers of all Vedas, or only for Krishna Yajurveda?
No, all Vedas.
All Vedas. Oh, everybody in South India follows that, and in North India they have their other Dharma Shastras.
Right.
Okay.
But Govindacharya Swami, I have no idea of the people, how they do Yajna Pratishta in North, Gaudiya and others.
Oh, in North. No.
Well, that's the thing, and in ISKCON they don't even do Pratishta, obviously. Yeah. They just put the two threads together and chant on both of them.
Yeah, but probably there's a system according to Shukla Yajurveda, Madhyandina, the Vajrasanas. They probably do it. They have a way, for sure. But we don't know what it is yet. I have the prayoga, and I have a video of Madhvas doing it.
Oh.
But I don't have anybody for Sri Vaishnavas. And it's a little bit different for Madhvas. So, but Madhvas are usually there are two types of Madhvas. Usually, you get the Shiveli Brahmins, and you get the GSBs, the Gauda Saraswat Brahmins. So the Shiveli Brahmins are mostly Rigvedis, Ashvalayana Shaka.
Oh.
So I don't know. I have this Rig Veda version. It's a little bit different. Anyway, we can do more research on it because apparently it's very important for some people. So,
thank you.
Okay. Namaskaram.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaskaram.
Thank you. Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
कवितार्किकसिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने श्रीमते वेङ्कटेशाय वेदान्तगुरवे नमः।